히트 시즌2.
It all comes down to this. We even have our ace match music on, guys. Game 7, ByuL versus Maru, no doubt.
Oh my god.
I actually tweeted ByuL versus Maru, and then I realized that he hasn't even been announced, but he's in the booth, obviously, guys. This is about as obvious as it
Dirty
gets.
spoiler. You're never allowed to talk about Game of Thrones ever, but here's Maru, to no one's surprise, coming out very last at the end, the final boss of Jin Air. We've already seen the boss toss taken out. Will Maru suffer the same fate? This will be a huge moment for ByuL. If he can bring this back for CJ, not only did they get a trip to go to IEM Shanghai, they're going to be going on to the postseason of Pro League anyway, and
yeah.
so that's huge. There's like so much pressure.
So much pressure on ByuL.
One tiny nerd.
Yeah.
If this was MC in the base, you know, at least he's got, you know, the ability to carry things through. But man, ByuL, lot of hopes of CJ fans rest on his tiny nerd's shoulders.
Let's see what people think about this one. They're actually, the CJ hype is coming through.
59%. If it was just up to the fans to vote, we'd see a lot of like dead, bloody fangirls in the audience. But it's actually going to be a closer vote, but still in CJ's favor.
People feeling the ByuL hype. Guys, we're going to jump into game number 7 right now. King Sejong Station for Maru versus ByuL. Get in here, guys. We're starting up the game right now. Up here in the top left, in the green, it's Maru, the new final boss of Jin Air.
And down here on the lower right-hand side, it's going to be ByuL for CJ Entis. You know, Napoleon said a leader is a dealer in hope, and right now the hope of all the CJ fans out there rests in Maru's little Zerg hands.
Maru's little Zerg hands? You mean ByuL?
ByuL,
or
that other guy. Yeah, when it comes to little Zerg hands, ByuL is the only guy that has those here. I've got these like, giant caster hands.
Oh, me too. Oh, why do they're
completely vestigial.
I mean, like, you're tall, so it makes sense. But I'm 5'11". I'm not like that tall, right? Why are my hands so big? Can you answer me this rapid?
You were meant to be a Rubik's Cube champion, but you just never followed your true calling.
Okay, all right. Now I understand.
Yeah, man.
I did play a lot of piano when I was younger.
I did too.
Maybe that's
our hidden caster synergy here.
Stretch your hands or something and they grow more? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I just have naturally big hands, and you know what they say about Zerg players like ByuL.
What do they say, Rabbit?
They say that he probably has pretty big hands too.
Yeah, of course.
You got to reach across the keyboard,
that's definitely what they say. So this is going to be interesting because ByuL, I mean, this is his map, man. I would love to see how many times he's played on this map. He used to always come out on this map for CJ. So would Hero. They kind of like switch off, right? You'd sometimes see ByuL in Overgrowth, stuff like that. He's played his fair share of games on this map too. And I remember these guys actually had a match, I think it was last year, where ByuL actually beat him with fast mutas, if I'm not mistaken, and won that one for CJ. So they've got a bit of history in final games on this map too.
Oh boy. Well, I like to think that King Sejong himself was in fact a human, so maybe Terran bias coming out here. Although his predecessor, King Dangun, I think, was actually rumored to be descended from the gods, so maybe that's some Protoss.
I thought you were gonna say like he's a raptor or something. I'm like, dude, where are we going with this? Like, what is happening?
That would
Illuminati's
be
taking over.
way more interesting than a history lesson, I can tell you that much. Also way more interesting than watching this. I think Artosis yesterday was talking about how initially the Reaper was like a super OP harassment unit, but now players are like just so good that they just micro against it perfectly, and it really doesn't accomplish all that much. If you lose it, it's bad, but most likely it stays alive and gives you a little bit of map pressure.
Yeah, nowadays, generally, if a Zerg loses one Ling, it's like a failure.
Oh my god, you're so
They're
bad.
Like, they messed up their micro. Something went wrong if they lost a Ling, especially if you're making 6. Like, you should just not be losing a Ling at this point. And
like, is Maru slumping? Or would that be for ByuL? But no early advantage taken off of anything. Second base is secured for both players. This is actually a decent sit spot to be in for Maru. He's got that second base up, and even no third base for Zerg either. So
the build he's doing is actually the same one as Cure, and this is kind of interesting because the map is going to be better for it. You can get to the base.
Oh no, poor Reaper! Did not drop that explosive fast enough.
Would have died anyway with the speed out there. Look at this. He's going to get another scout, and this time it's going to be a full scout.
Wow, that is actually so good.
Didn't see the stim this time, though.
No.
But you just see a lot of Marines, and the timing on the reactor for the factory and the starport. So I think you should know what kind of build this is coming through.
It's a reactory.
A reactory?
Yeah, man.
That's pretty good, actually.
And
I'm surprised nobody's ever thought of that, actually.
But that's why they brought me in, man.
Reactory.
I gotta think of all of the actually funny things.
All the word plays. You'd be good on Korean television. They love those kind of jokes.
Well, I'd actually be terrible on Korean television because I don't actually speak Korean.
Maybe someday.
But if I did one day, all that would be possible.
In a world where Rapid speaks Korean.
Oh god, nobody wants to live in that world, man. No chance. So we do actually have a lot of Marines out here from that reactor barracks, which unfortunately is not quite as easy to make a wordplay about, but we should be loading up these medevacs with at least a decent number of Marines.
What?
Those medevacs are empty, man!
Where are you going? What?
He missed the Marines! He was supposed to load up the medevacs, right? You can't warp in off medevacs, man! But
he
just forgot about them. He forgot about them. He's turning. Wait.
No, he's trying to fake. He must be trying to fake because this is like so weird. I don't know. I think ByuL saw the fact that no Marines.
No, he's sending them back right now.
Okay.
He just realizes there's no Marines. If that was a fake, then that's smart. If he forgot, then obviously slightly less intelligent.
He went through 2 overlords now, and he went back, and then now he went through one again.
Okay, so this has to be a fake, right?
Yeah, this is a fake, but I'm not sure what it's going to accomplish, really.
Well, he didn't
you
run
do this
into
build to do damage, right?
He didn't run into any spore crawlers either, so the fact that he turned around without dropping has to give something away. I don't know, man.
This is a weird start to this game, man. I've never seen anything like this.
We're all learning things. He's oversaturated on his second, and he hasn't started building a third. So, what's the play here? He's like moving out like he's trying to secure a third base, but I mean, there's no command center, so I don't really know what's going on here. He has finally loaded up a medevac with Marines and is sending that out across the map. I think the best case scenario is maybe like sniping off some out of position overlords. Or
this is so weird, man. He's making
late.
More production buildings. He hasn't taken a third. He's like going all in at the back door here, but ByuL has already broken down the rocks.
I mean, this is Maru we're talking about. This guy does not lose. He does not mess up. He's got sick micro back from the Lings, and okay, that's pretty good. That's the Maru.
Yeah, that's a good start here. Once he gets those other units of his over, especially the tanks, this is going to be a lot stronger too. Denies the creep, nicely done. He's going to load up, try to just pull himself together as a unit.
Had like 500 APM for both of these players, just going nuts here in the final game of tonight. One of these teams is going to IEM Shanghai, and the other one is possibly, if it's CJ, not even going to make it into the postseason. Marines get surrounded, but they do get picked up in the last second. Trying to drop them off back once again, but here come the Tankabacks, or the Medanks.
Yeah, the Medanks. Here it comes. One tank coming in. Just one for now. He's got a nice split, though. He's going to scan and clear up the creep, too.
Oh, Baneling's actually getting canceled on top of the ramp here. This is actually starting to turn into a huge push for Maru. Pre-splitting up all of his Marines. Does he have those? So he does have Zerglings coming in from behind for the flank, but this is starting to deal a little bit too much damage.
Look at the split. Here we go. No Baneling speed. It's about to finish.
Those tank shots are going to be huge if they do hit the Banelings. not going in all at the same time. Stopping the reinforcements, though. These are some good Zerglings, and now will this be the push to come in? Just losing his forces one by one.
So many Marines over here. Here come the Banelings.
They're rolling in. The tank shots will have to hit them. They do blow up a lot of the Banelings, but will this kill off all the bio? It looks like there's just too much coming in for Maru.
It looks like Maru's going to be able to take this one, guys. Just way too many Marines. More Banelings coming down, but the tank is totally just alive and protected here. Another great split from Maru.
And the Marines just keep coming. They don't stop. The
and another tank.
The Imperium of Man crushing up the ramp, and you can't build Zerglings forever, man. You do actually need to kill off these Marines.
He's making roaches, but it's only 11. He doesn't have any more Banelings. He's morphing like 3 or 4 over here.
How good are 8 range queens, Brendan?
They're better than 7 range queens.
They certainly are, but are they good enough? Here are the roaches. They're finally complete, but is this enough to push back the Terran Hope? There's no third base for Maru, so if ByuL can hold this, he'll actually be in an okay spot.
Yeah, very true. And now Maru's going to try a different location here. He's got the tank on the low ground.
Completed. This should be good enough to push this back. Ravager shots almost killing off that tank.
And Maru, I think he's got to back off. He's going to take a third. I was calling this too early. I thought Maru was going to take that one, actually, but it is not over by any means. ByuL, very, very thin hold, but he holds on, and that's what's important here.
That tank is so low, and he does have another one, but these Ravagers actually could do a lot. Oh, actually lost the Ravager up in the front. He's actually just going to micro the Roaches forward. Doesn't actually take all that much micro, but he's pushing back the Maru forces, dropping the double tank to the back, but the Roaches are right on top of him. He does actually snipe one of the tanks, and ByuL is pushing out against Maru. Maru's just putting down his third base, but he might just have to lift that one right back off.
Look at ByuL just going so confidently so far off creep. He knew that if he could deny the tank drop, he would actually be in a better spot, so that's why he does that. You see him remaking that creep on that side, has that third base, going for a counterattack too towards the third base of Maru.
Right of the Valkyries here, as we do have, unfortunately not Valkyries, who would be still terrible units in Starcraft 2. We'd be pushing up the ramp right now. Queen's going down, but there just seems like too much Zerg here for ByuL.
I love the composition too. It's got some of everything. And look at this, the run by, extremely successful.
Not even able to finish that third base. The tank's dropped in the back. Is there enough Zerg here? We do have the Crows and Biles coming down, not sniping the medevac, carrying that tank, but finally clearing out that third base. Maru trying to stabilize his economy in the back lines, but still keeping the pressure up, but has he overextended? No creep here, which is really big for holding off ByuL.
ByuL
trying to come in here. Can they lift in time? They do. The medevacs, that is, still pushing ByuL around. More tanks coming in. So this is actually starting to turn into a really solid push.
Maru's grouping up now. He's got everything together, and let's see if he can do this once again. He's being very patient with his tanks. He's got 2 more back here. A couple of decent Baneling connections.
Corrosive Biles not hitting on very much in the back lines. Concussive shells finally slowing out these Ravagers. They do try to... Wait, are those concussive shells? I couldn't tell if they were slowing.
Yeah, he's got it.
All right, he's got it, but does he got it? Have it. Terrible grammar. But will this push be terrible? It looks like it's actually starting to do a lot of damage.
Coming in here, and that second base is very low. He's going to snipe. Not
sure
quite.
He's still alive.
Not quite, but he's got so much stuff.
Killing off some medevacs. Too much Terran here for Maru.
The ByuL 2 GG.
GG.
Maru's going to take it. There you go, guys. ByuL was not enough to take out 2 Terrans, and Maru, the final boss, stands alive at the end of the day.
Jin Air Green Wings are going to be flying their Korean aircraft all the way to Shanghai for the Pro League Finals for the 3rd split. This is absolutely incredible, and what a 7-game series. It went all the way. We had guys like MC, who did so well yesterday, not winning tonight. We had guys like Cure coming out really big for his team, and the Jin Air Green Wings ultimately come out on top with a 4-3 victory.
What a great day, man. Even though CJ, I believe I'm like 97% sure that this doesn't give them enough points for the grand postseason playoffs. And I mean, that's gotta hurt, right? They wanted to get in there. All of it relied on ByuL here. MC didn't quite do his job today. Got taken out by Cure.
Nope, he still needs to be promoted to boss toss today. Maybe after a little bit of that demotion. But you can see big smiles on Maru's face there. Looked super scary for him. I thought he had overcommitted and didn't have enough to fall back on.
Things were looking weird, man, in the beginning of that game with the fake drop.
Was that a fake? Was it real?
I think it was a mistake, and then he turned it into a fake drop. He's like, I guess I just have to do this. I don't know.
It's like the patented shoutcaster strat where you say something super dumb, and you're like, well, what I actually meant was this other smart thing. And if people like you, they're like, oh yeah, man, you're so smart. Well,
yeah, I totally believe you.
ByuL, man, a little crushed in the, I was going to say in the base. That's not not his base. It's
that basically is his
booth.
base,
Yeah, man. He's going to have to live in there. That's his punishment. Well, he's got a cute dog on his shirt to maybe cheer him up a little bit.
Yeah,
but
perhaps.
Here you can see the wins. A couple wins for Cure, really impressive. Bunny also picking up a win. That was also super good. But, man, it came down to the very last game on King Sejong Station. Maru taking it home for the Jin Air Green.
And I assume that Maru's going to be the MVP here. I want them to ask about the fake drop.
Was it fake? Was it real? Has science gone too far?
Yeah. Maru's like, I was actually trying to break the universe, so I thought I'd give it a shot and see if it worked.
Well, you know, the fakest drops are the drops that are so fake, you fake yourself out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like, man, in fact.
Oh, my God. Well, this has actually been a crazy night. It's my first night here casting Pro League.
It's fun, right?
Oh, my
League's
God.
a great tournament.
This is so good. Turns out you can